Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. That's cool, dude. Dark Harvest is, it's alright. It's not the worst thing. It is an okay rune. It is indeed okay. I mean, you can do whatever. Dark Harvest is, yeah, you can do whatever. I mean, there's a lot of runes you could just have fun with. A lot of fun things. What are we doing? We are making miniatures. Beard, thank you, buddy. Yeah, we're just making minis. Making the miniatures is what we are doing here. But it's a very slow-going process. This shit takes a long time. Yo, yo. I need more stuff. Right now, yes. I've lost all of my other beanies. As of right now, I don't have any other beanies, unfortunately. I wish I had more. I usually do. They're just missing. Right now, they are completely missing. Yo-yo. They are all missing. I have them, and then I don't, because my dog takes them and runs away with them. And it's an absolute mess. It's actually maybe too much, or too little still. Hmm. Pretty sure I've got beanies, like, littered everywhere. I just don't know where they are. They're all, like, in plain sight. I just can't see them. Nah, they're just different colors. I don't really care what beanie I wear as long as it's comfy. Comfy beanie is all I care about. If it is comfortable, it is good for me. And most of them are comfortable, thankfully. Not yet. Today, actually, I'm going to go get it. Today, hopefully, I will go get it because I have to go to the post office anyways to mail a package. And I will figure it out then. Yesterday, I was not feeling good. today I'm not feeling good. I don't know what it is. But I still have to go mail something, so I'm going to check it out when I go. Yo, yo. I mean, I've worn beanies forever. It's not the worst thing. It's just something you gotta get used to if you're gonna wear it a lot, I guess. It may feel weird, but it's like just a hat. It is indeed just a hat. You can't wear beanies on passport photos. You're not allowed to. Everyone's passport photo is so scuffed. It is super, super scuffed. I don't think they'd let you do anything. You would be a no-fly zone. No-fly person. It's good to get your passport, though. You don't always have to go places, but when you do, you know, it's good to have, right? It is good to have your passport for when you need to dip the fuck out. This needs to, Yo, yo. Yeah, I mean, people don't travel often. It's just good to have it, I guess, right? Like, I don't travel at all, and I have mine. Pretty good to me. Now I just gotta let this thing dry. Maybe I should... I can sand the arm down, it's fine. It'll be small enough to work. Arm is just a little bit too big, I think. Bro's, like, yoked out of his mind. Alright, good enough for now. I mean, whatever they ask you for that, I mean, it's normal. What brush do I use? I don't even know. This is just a cheap hobby brush from somewhere. I have no idea. For painting, it's certainly not these. Oops. It is certainly not these for painting. Is that dinner? I hope so. I'm fucking hungry, man. I was ready to throw up this morning. I was so... I actually didn't even eat. I think I had a cookie, which is basically the American breakfast anyways, so, like, you know, you're winning. You are winning. What happened? Nothing happened. I just don't feel good. I haven't felt good since yesterday. I just do not feel good. I feel poo-poo. What do I use for painting? I think it's just like the GW brushes, honestly. I'm not that big of a painter right now. Whatever the GW stuff is, that's what I use. For now. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, milliputting is so, puke-inducing. Do I like the Leagues of Votan? Not really. Not until maybe Wave 2. In Wave 2 they might be interesting, but right now they're not really for me. I'm really hoping for Wave 2 to be good. Which should be soon. Yeah. I mean, they're all just fine if you're a professional painter. You know, maybe you wouldn't use them, but, like, I'm not a professional painter. But, you know, everyone's different. You like what you like, and use the brushes you want to use. Use the brushes you want to use. Okay. Try and... Yeah. I mean, whatever works again, man. It's all good. I don't think I'll be painting for a while, but when I do, I should have all the brushes I need. Hmm. Some people don't even use like expensive hobby brushes. They use like Walmart brushes and they get the job done. It's like whatever's in budget, whatever you've got on hand, it's all good. Ten out of 10. Kolinsky Sables. Oh yeah, they're all, I mean, you could sit here and talk about 50, 60 different paintbrush brands. Whatever gets the job done. It's better to do something than not, you know? It's always easier said than done, but once you get around to it, it's always good. Oh. Hmm. Looks like Olaf. They're basically Olafs. Maybe Roger sometimes. That's replaceable brush tips. That's interesting. I've never heard of those. So it's like when one brush tip is dog shit, you just like buy another one, you replace it instead of buying the whole brush again. That's interesting. I have never heard of that. Okay. Yeah, post them in the Discord. That's very interesting. I've never heard of that. Always ways to, you know, do hobbying and different things, and people are always coming out with like new brands and new ideas. It's cool. Different. Different is what sometimes draws the attention of people. I think I need to... Excuse me. Posted in general chat, the head screw off. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let me take a look. Oh my god, look at all those. What the fuck? That's interesting. I've never seen anything like that. I hope it's good. I hope it gets the job done. Are they expensive? Oh, gotcha. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, if he stocked up, I was gonna say. I don't think anyone buys that many outright, unless you're, like, buying a million. I used to, I used to stock up on a few things, and, you know, later on you'd realize, like, oh my god, they're now out of stock, and, oh, you can't get them anymore. So you're kind of glad you bought a bunch initially, you know? Maybe that'll be the case for those. Maybe you can never get them again. Probably not, no. It looks alright, but there's no characters I really care about.
Hello, Tobias. Much love, Tobias.
Hey, Vetter, thank you, buddy. Yeah, right now there's not... I'm not really interested in that fighting game, to be honest. Maybe in, a year or so when it's out and there's more characters and there's more interest, like, I'd like to see a few more characters I like. There's just not enough right now for me to care about it. Not that it's a bad product or anything, but... Hmm. Maybe TF could. Yeah, with Gambit being a thing in like the Wolverine movie, or not the Wolverine movie, the Deadpool movie. Possibility, for sure. I'm milliputting. I'm filling in gaps and I'm sculpting detail that's not there. So, like, I had to build the arm out completely with milliput because there was a giant gap. I posed it differently. Other examples could be like you glue two things together and there's big gaps. So, I am smoothing it out with alcohol. No, you have to, sometimes you sculpt a few bits and pieces. Normally it's, when you're doing custom work, you do kind of have to sculpt a little bit, just because sometimes things don't line up. In this case, I reposed arms that have no middle. There's like no arm below the glove. So you kind of have to sculpt in your own arm. That's the idea. Or put this. An example could be like, I did this one earlier off stream. Like you have to resculpt a beard because there's a giant flat thing. It's not necessary unless you're doing, exactly. Unless you're doing custom pieces, it's not needed, but you're basically just resculpting in detail. Like, as an example, I was able to, like, well, basically what you do is you pin them. You take a pin drill, you drill 2 holes, and then you put a paper clip, and then you super glue it, and now you've got a connection, but you don't have a flush meeting. So what you would do is you'd take your green stuff, milliput, whatever it may be, and you'd smush it into these places, and then you kind of, like, clean them up and make them look good. Oops. And then when that's done, you go back in and you clean them up even more. Yeah, the poses, I don't know. This is supposed to be a Spearhead, and if it's Spearhead, I've only got 10 minis, and they're all converted. Hence why I'm, like, milliputting half of them. If I was doing like big regiments of units, I don't think I'd fuck with poses, but what I would do is kind of replace weapon heads and make things a little bit more interesting, like bit-wise. But actual conversions and stuff like that are they're a little bit tedious. This is just a very time-consuming, tedious bit of work. What I should do... All I'm trying to do is mush the putty into place. Doesn't matter how bad it looks, because you can kind of clean everything up and smooth it. But the goal is everything gets mushed in. And from being mushed in, you kind of just need to round everything out. It's a little tedious, but if you're making like a bunch of your own figures, it's kind of something that's needed to a degree. And by the end of it, it should look seamless. That's, well, you only get like, what, 5 Slayers or something? They used to be sold in 5s. I think at one point they got sold in 10s. This weekend, nothing. I'm probably not even going to stream. I don't feel good. I'm just going to take time off. Probably spending time with Ivana, maybe going to a movie, chilling, if I feel good. Just not streaming, maybe. Yeah. I guess we'll see. I kind of have no energy right now. I've got no energy. Okay. So now that all of it's pushed into place, all I have to do is basically go over it with a brush and alcohol and smooth everything out. And then when it dries, you take a normal brush and you clean the surface with all this weird particles, all these like leftover pieces from the milliput. Struggling to get sleep. I don't know, I just feel sick. Like throw up sick. No energy. Maybe my diet's bad, I don't know. I'm eating pretty alright. There. It's all smoothed out. Fuck. I think I glanced the new Skaven a little bit. I don't think I saw them. I think I saw a bit of them. I'll go look at them after this, though. I'm about to be, mostly kind of just done for now. I wasn't really going to stream long anyways, but we can look at the Skaven in a sec. I'm assuming they are, the biggest thing for the Skaven is that they just don't look like Age of Sigmar Skaven. They just look like Skaven, which is kind of what you want out of Skaven. Sometimes things just don't change, and that's for the better. You just want things that look like what you know and what you love. And I believe the Skaven, from what I've seen as a range, have only gotten better. Sometimes they can go back on, like, the look of things, but I think the Skaven do not go back on the look of things. They just keep making them more Skaven. I think that's good enough. Sometimes the aesthetic of, or I should say, sometimes the aesthetic of things just kind of gets too bloated, and you lose the charm of what made them them. And, yeah, GW, if it seems like from the fantasy days to now, like, Age of Sigmar minis are really, really good. Some of them are a bit too bizarre for my tastes, but I'd like to see things that made it to Age of Sigmar from fantasy kind of retain a little bit of their, like, old world vibe. But then again, not much really made it, and the stuff that did kind of did keep that vibe anyways, like the Warriors of Chaos, the Skaven. Okay. My son. I am mailing him today. I will let you know when your son is in the mail. Those are really good. Those old Warhammer Fantasy terrain kits are great if you've got a table. They're going to be expensive. They were expensive when they were around. Some of the best looking terrain for sure. It's really, really clean. There. Did they really? I mean, I'm surprised they're not getting more hate from a lot of those groups. Or creators or something. I think a lot of people would be slightly pissed off with some of their shit. Not that I'd care, but like... Okay, holy shit, it's so annoying. tedious, but pretty all right. We're good. We're just chilling. I'm not going to be here long. I don't really feel good. And still got a couple of things to do, but we are chugging along. Chugging along ever so slowly. Okay. I feel like sculpting would be fun, but gap filling is not fun. Like, there's a big difference here between the two, for sure. Let me just go wash my hands real quick. Hang on. Oops. I'll take a look at the new Skaven before I have to make my departure soon. All right. We can take a look at the new Skaven. Let me just see this for a sec, though. Well, it seems to have done the job. Thankfully, by the time all of this dries, you can just kind of sand it down, which is where I should be at instead of hitting this with, like, more alcohol, which it just doesn't need. It does not need more alcohol. I'll get it after. Primary color scheme. Oh, what hold are you doing? Karak Kadrin. I've seen a few people do Karak Kadrin. It seems, I mean, the red is very nice, and it's a very easy scheme compared to some others that have, like, really bizarre colors. Should be pretty legit. But, you know, guess it just depends on what people want to go for. There are many different schemes you could be doing. Many, many different schemes. Yeah. Well, like, 1 unit per each. Yeah. We'll start with literally whatever. Karak Kadrin is pretty easy again. You could start with that, but boils down to what you're into, what you want to go with first. Hmm. Should have sculpted in this beard before I fucking covered it. Oops. After streaming, I would like to go eat. I have not had food all day. I am hungry. I would like food. Delicious food. No, I'm leaving very, very soon. I'm not really going to be putting on anything. I'm going to be heading out of here in a sec. I should have... Yeah, I don't really want to... I was going to look at the new Skaven stuff. Honestly. I think that's what I was going to do, and then I was probably going to go for a bit. I should have put beard here. I think I'm just going to do that before I go. Which I did not want to keep sculpting. I mean, some people don't really... I mean, if you're well-versed in fantasy or 40k, I mean, it's kind of hard to... It's not hard, but... It's a lot of... Fantasy's a lot of work. I mean, even 40k is a lot of work. It's just... You kind of have to know your shit, I guess. There's so many things out there that kind of, like... It's just so much stuff. It's been around for ages. Because of that, you've already got, like, a very well-established, fleshed-out lore, and, you know, it's understandable to get things wrong. It's not like you're going to be put to the fucking chopping block if you get, you know, a thing or two not correct. Okay. I should not have... I'm taking this out. That was not smart to do first. I'll do it again after. No, all of my work, even though it's not that bad. Okay. Now I can see what I'm doing. It's just milliput. Sculpting with milliput's not right. You should be gap filling with milliput. But I don't want to mix green stuff and milliput together. I'm too lazy right now. But I need to... I need to sculpt in this beard. Okay. So the shape should be there. Now I just need to sculpt in the beard. And we should be good. Thankfully, once you hit this with isopropyl alcohol, this thing will smooth out and look perfect. You just gotta have faith. Faith is everything. Yeah, it looks about right. The strands are the same size. So, try and get all these smoothed out now. Yeah, look at that. Looks good. Looks like a beard sculpted. Yeah. You just gotta trust the process. You should use a paintbrush. That's what people do. But you need alcohol as well. Basically, it's not hard to do it. It's just a matter of when you sculpt something, it doesn't need to be perfect. It could be kind of jank, but alcohol will smooth, at least it smooths milliput. And the goal with this is to... Ooh! I missed, thank God. You basically... You scrape in the notches of the beard, and you take your isopropyl alcohol, and you follow the notches with a paintbrush. And milliput kind of dissolves. So you can kind of blend things in a little bit. You can, make sure your stuff comes out smooth. There. Done. So there's that one. It'll look good when it's all together, but... Sculpting or what? Green stuff is too hard. Green stuff, there's not many particles in green stuff, or whatever you want to call it, so it's a little bit harder to work with in terms of, like, if you're doing little things like this, I suppose. What people do is they kind of, they mix the two. I don't sculpt often. I don't do it often, but I'm just taking my time, that's it. I was not. No. What the fuck? Hell no. I live in Canada, dude. I do not live in the US. So there is no hope of me being there at all. Okay. Now that the beard is back on the dwarf, I think ideally try and glue this back on. Oh my god. The lid was off the whole time. Ay. Fucking super glue all over me. What a nightmare. Hmm. Yeah. Ooh. So yeah, go for it. That's fine. You are way good, brother. Alright, well, I gotta wait till that glues. I'm doing good, I just don't feel well. 40k Space War. What is 40k Space War? What is that? Alright, I'm done for now, but I will look at the new Skaven, but I'm completely done. I, want to not look at gap filling again for now. It is so boring. It's very tedious, and it makes me sick, because you, like, hyper-focus on something. It's not fun. Overall, I think the sculpting came out pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Just gotta sand him down a little bit and they'll be better. Gotta make sure everything dries, and then I gotta wipe them down profusely with, like, alcohol. Yeah, it should be good. Okay. I'll take a look at the Skaven, and then I'm just gonna call it for now. Let's take a look at the Skaven. Where are the Skaven? On the Games Workshop website? The War Community? The Slaughter at Hellcrown. Skaven Victory. I'd hope it was Skaven Victory. Okay, let's take a look. As much as I don't like the Skaven, I think you'd want more Skaven minis than Stormcast minis, probably. Vizek Scour, Prophet of the Horned Rat. I mean, that looks really amazing. That looks good. Is it Vermin Lord? Is this like the new Skaven centerpiece mini? Because it's kind of what it looks like to me. I don't think anything is... Well, actually, no, they got a big unit. They have, like, the big abomination thing. It's good. Looks really good. Kritok Foulblade. It's a character. It looks good. All of these look like they could literally be in, like, Warhammer Fantasy. That build line, the seam line for building it, is so garbage. Look how bad that looks. Look how bad that looks right there. You can't see my cursor. Yeah, you see that gap? That's awful. No, you have to, like, milliput that. Yeah, the thing, some of these minis look great, but, like, it's a one-way build. You can't really build them any other way. And for that reason, you're going to have a lot of, like, lines. I mean, look at through the cloak here as well. It looks pretty terrible. A lot of these lines look really terrible, come to think of it. Look at this one on the cloak. Like, that is bad. That looks terrible, but it's super easy to fix. Super easy to fix. Super easy to fix. I mean, they're Skaven anyways. Storm Vermin. I feel like the other Storm Vermin maybe had more character. Maybe I'm wrong, but, like, these look a little bit tame. They look good, but they look a bit tame. Arch Warlock. Warlock Galvanier. Dude, the Globadiers were due for an update for probably 20 years. Like, these look really, really good. Compared to what they were prior, which still looked good, but, like, they haven't been updated forever. Even the weapons teams, like, these look really nice. And I like that some of them aren't even trotted around by, like, Skaven. It's just a giant rat. Well, the Warp Grinders. Really? The Doom Flayers. Damn. Skaven are eating good. Holy shit. They're basically like all of the old minis, but updated, and then new ones on top of that. Like, these are good. They look straight up out of Warhammer Fantasy as well. Like, I don't view this and say, oh my god, it's so Age of Sigmar. To me, there's nothing Age of Sigmar about this. It actually just looks like unchanged Skaven. I don't love Skaven, but, like, I can appreciate how good things are visually. And these are visually really, really nice. I like them. I'll never be buying them, but, like, if you like Skaven, you're probably going to buy a lot of them. If not all of them. Like, the Storm Vermin, probably the least interesting, to be honest. There's something about it that just doesn't... It doesn't click as well. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too, like, judgy. Maybe it's the paint scheme. I don't know. They seem a little flat in a way. But they still look really, really good. They look amazing. All of these look really nice. Maybe a little bit too clean. Maybe it's the paint job. I guess that's a way to kind of, like, distinguish, though, you know, slaves and other things to, like, the absolute elite of the Skaven force. Maybe grime. Yeah, make them a bit dirty. Skaven should be dirty. I mean, they piss and shit themselves daily, so, like, why wouldn't they be? The mouse on the shoulder. The horned rat. This one? This is a named character. Vizek Scour, Prophet of the Horned Rat. It's basically a vermin lord. It's a really big rat. Nop and Prophet of the Horned Rat. When the Vermin Lord secured the Skaven god's place in the Pantheon of Chaos, he shaped this demon into Vizek Scour, Lord of the Gnaw and Prophet of the Horned Rat. I mean, that's crazy looking, eh? To think that's not even, like, the centerpiece mini, because they also have the giant, like, upright abomination. It's got, like, a big cannon for a hand, and it's, like, lumpy. I would love to see Age of Sigmar plastic minis. Dwarf plastic minis. Like, you've got the Skaven, Fantasy. Everyone hates them. They're Skaven. You got the Stormcast. Great. What about the allies to Stormcast? Why not, like, throw in dwarves, throw in elves, like, some city stuff? That'd be cool. Because, I mean, if you're getting all of these brand new miniatures for, like, Skaven, what about the Stormcast? Maybe the Skaven just get all this new stuff, and it's like, well, the Stormcast have whatever, it's fine. I don't know. It's amazing, but I'd like to see more, like, good guy plastics from Fantasy that kind of get, like, a semi-update, you know? But those are great. Those look really good. Those look excellent. We're a big fan. I mean, I'm not saying I want Stormcast sculpts, but, like, you know, seeing some Order plastic sculpts would be very interesting. Cities, yeah, Cities came out. I mean, the thing is with Cities, though, is that Cities, Cities is nice, but they kind of just forgot about all the other factions that live within the cities. Sorry, that's Facebook. My ears. Mute. like, where are the dwarves, where are the elves? They're kind of all relegated to, like, just not Age of Sigmar. Thought that was me for a sec. No, that was me. You're good. They've all got sent to, like, the old world, but at the same time, you still need them in Age of Sigmar because they exist in Age of Sigmar. It's not like, oh, fuck fantasy, we don't want that shit here. It's like fantasy still is kind of an integral part of, like, most of the good guy factions. Or, yeah, you know, I don't think... I mean, you could make a new army. You could do whatever you want, realistically, but... it'd just be cool to, it'd be cool to see updated plastics for Age of Sigmar that are, again, reminiscent of what the lore has to offer and what's going on. Because, like, they're still trying to sell you the... They're still trying to sell you, Warhammer Old World Dwarves in Age of Sigmar. For me, it's kind of icky. I'm not really a fan of that. I prefer, like, you know, if it's Age of Sigmar, you have the Age of Sigmar stuff. If it's not, you have the fantasy stuff. I think a distinction is kind of what I'm saying. A distinction would be very nice between the two. And, you know, if they do decide to do Dwarven cities, you're going to lose all of them, and you're going to get maybe 1 to 2 units, I believe, which sucks ass, but in my opinion, it's better than seeing fantasy minis in Age of Sigmar, now that we have the old world back, but that's just my take. Well, I don't think you'll keep the rules forever. I think when it comes down to those rules being, you know, left around and, oh, you could still use your army, don't worry, you're fine. In the subsequent year, you're not fine. It's gone. So you're just kind of on a ticking time bomb of, like, you know, my army is playable, but not going to be around forever. And everyone knows when it goes to, like, Legends or when it goes to certain other things, nobody uses them. Nobody will use them. They're there for a reason. They're there to be forgotten. Right now, I'm not painting, no. I'm just puttying and sculpting and cleaning up. I will be painting, actually. I'm going to be... The first thing I want to do is just complete this mini force, and when it's done being built, I'm going to paint it on stream. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to maybe do like 1 to 2 test paints, and then I'm just going to do it, because I want to play the fucking game. I'm sick of sitting around and just building minis, so... The goal is to clean up everything I've done so far. Putty all the gaps. And then paint. Which should be fun. Because, I mean, I haven't really been feeling well since yesterday, so I just sat down and I said, fuck it, I'm just going to sculpt. And I made more progress on this little force anyway, so that's good. Is it this glove? Once I can get all of these properly gap-filled, and the bits on them, I'm more inclined to kind of, like, paint. So, some painted stuff. There's 1. 2. Yeah. I'm just slow with what I do. But I'm slow because I kind of just want to get it right the first time and then reflect on what I did wrong and what I want to improve on. And I think this little force is going to be a good dive into, like, what I'm not doing well enough, because it's still completing things, it's gap filling. It's just a spearhead. Spearheads are kind of like very, very easy to finish. It's just I convert everything, and so for that reason, it takes me a long time to actually get it done. But again, it will be... I'm actually going to paint this. Like, I want to gear up to paint this. I don't want to work on my 2,000 point old world army until this is done. And, it should be very easy, but I still have to make a few things. So, like, I've got to make... Yeah, this is a character on Spearhead, but, like, it's... Again, it's just very slow because I'm converting everything, and yeah. A character on Spearhead, but in the form of, like, old world, basically. Painting metal. Not really. You just need to kind of seal them. So when you're painting metal, at least from what I remember, you probably want to, like, varnish them after a few coats of things, and then paint more, and then varnish them again. It's good to have multiple... If you're playing with metal, you want to do that. If not, you're fine. You could probably paint them all, varnish it once, and be done. It's just alcohol. I'm trying to get all of the leftover, like, milliput dust and all that crap off. You can kind of... I don't know if you could see all that white stuff in here. It's just, when you work on milliput, it can kind of, get gross sometimes. I just want a clean slate. Primer, paint, multiple coats of varnish. You could do that. You could do base coats, and then I think it'd be wise to maybe do... I would look up a YouTube video, to be honest, but something along those lines. Yeah, I'd say varnishing it twice wouldn't be bad, to be honest. Varnish it, like, halfway through, and then paint on all the details and do the rest, and then varnish it again. Something like that is usually good. That's not a bad gig. I think I'm going to have to just go over it with a brush. Some of it's coming out. It'll all come out, but... From start to finish. So, like, as an example, from start to finish would be... It starts like this, on a sprue. You cut all the pieces out, you then glue them together, and you basically get, like, a complete... If this was complete with the arms put in, you'd get something like this, right? It's all glued in, it's done. Imagine it done. And then from that, you paint it. And then that's, like, the completed thing. So they go from bare plastic on sprues to, like, completed painted things. That's the idea. NMM? No, not really. Not, like, eventually, when I'm able to paint more, like, diorama-esque display pieces, then I'd fuck with NMM, but, like, for an entire army of dwarves, no way. It's not something I'd really want to mess with, to be honest. think I need a brush to get this off. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's pretty tedious for NMM. I mean, if you really want to do it, you can get away with it, but it's very... It's labor intensive for sure. This whole hobby is kind of labor intensive if you want to go the extra mile, but not many people will. Not many people want to. I don't blame them. Hmm. I haven't played in a while. I'm more right now of a hobbyist. I used to play quite a bit, but I haven't been able to access Warhammer, physical Warhammer, for about 5 years. And now that I'm back with my stuff, I can kind of do my 5 years of waiting. But the goal is to play. I don't just build for the sake of building. I do actually play the games. Last time I was in a store playing a game was probably, I don't know, 10 plus years ago-ish, maybe, roughly. But like tabletop sim and all that crap in the meantime, I've played a bunch. Tabletop Simulator is very good for playing stuff like this. Then I really gotta go over this, don't I? Oh, it's not the same at all, but it's a, for me it's fine because again, I don't have my stuff ready like I used to. I sold everything off way back when. All my completed work and everything was just pawned off for like gaming money and whatnot, but it's just it's a good refresher, I suppose. If you haven't played in so long, just like bumping on tabletop sim is not bad. If it's the only option you've got, at least, right? All I want to do right now is just complete the tiniest fucking force ever, but I take so long to do it. But it'll be a good reflection piece on why I shouldn't take so long to do stuff, probably. I still have to make a fucking airship, for God's sake. And that needs to be customized as well. Good lord. Hmm. Oh yeah, you could play literally. The thing is, as well, when it comes to tabletop sim, is you could play any list you want within 2 seconds. If you want to run 3,000 boys, you could do that. No one's gonna run 3,000 boys in real life, but like, you can literally play any list you want on tabletop sim. It's like super experimentative and it's fun. Oh yeah, for sure. I don't want to rush it. I'm taking the exact time I'm needing. Um, it's a little slow going. I really didn't even think I'd be sculpting. I just kind of got bored, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just sculpt. And now I'm kind of, well, I did most of it, I suppose. All the beards and everything. So I'm just waiting for shit to dry, and then, you know, putting things together. Better than not. It's got to get done eventually. Pretty much in the end stages anyways. Right now, it's just kind of putting things together. Like, I still haven't really glued or figured out, like, finalizing a few things here, but 10,000 points of boys. Yeah, that's super boring. That may seem fun in your mind, but, like, it's not fun to play. It's a cool spectacle, but it's not something you want to be a part of, you know? It's like, throw 10,000 boys down on, like, you know, a custom, like, diorama thing, sure. A giant green tide wall fucking against Space Marines or something, great to look at, but you don't want to be a part of that. Yep. I'll be leaving very soon. No, I should be leaving, like, 10 minutes or so. I'm just slowly cleaning up stuff. These arms need to be cleaned up a little bit. I need to be a little bit more tidy with how I do my milliputting, because, like, all the weird watery milliput dust kind of goes everywhere, and that's what I'm cleaning up right now, because it's just kind of clogging detail. But it's surface level, it comes off with, like, a bit of wiping. Just want to make sure when I get to painting that I've got the cleanest surface possible. I love dwarves. I don't really know way to get several people to help him just for his move. I mean, yeah, if it's that many boys, like, it's just like, okay, everyone move them up. Doesn't matter where they go, they just go forward. If the enemy's over there, you make them closer to the enemy. They don't need to look good, they just need to be over there. Color scheme-wise, I have no idea yet. I want to do... maybe, like... I think, is turquoise... Then I was gonna do Zufbar. Yeah, probably, like, a turquoisey... like, Zufbar being the, engineering hold. And this kind of being, like, an engineer expedition thing. Probably turquoise, teal... yeah, something like that. It's not my favorite color, but, like, lore-wise, that's what I want to go with. I think I'll have one defining feature be turquoise, and then everything else be kind of just like drabby, generic, like leathery things. I don't really like Deepkin. Nah, Deepkin's not really my thing. I don't like elves in general. The Imperial Guard parking lot. Yep. A bunch of tanks sitting at the back of the map doing nothing until, you know, the shooting phase. Lovely. All this, like, white... You see all this white dust all over him? All this, like, white shit everywhere. Comes off easily, but... PG Steak on Zafar, white and grayish blue. That was a pretty cool looking one. Did he... I think in his video he did the... Was it the Zufbar theme? Was that what he said it was? I don't know. I'll see. I'm probably just going to go with like a teal, turquoisey looking thing. It'll be like minor though. It's not going to be in the Dwarf tank video. Yeah. It'll be along those lines. One or the other. It doesn't need to be so glaring, like in your face obvious that it's Zufbar, but like I'll use some of the transfers and the decals and whatnot. Oh, right, at the end of the video. I remember. I think I just have to let these dry now. So this is one. This is another, but it's drying. Yeah, I'm just trying to find, like, this guy's pose was supposed to kind of be like the GP crit queue. Not really intended, but it's just a way to kind of have a different pose. And some of these guys had to be chopped down pretty terribly. Like, I don't know if you've seen, this was a Quarler at one point, and, like, that's where his arm was. There was the entire Quarler arm where it connects to, like, the gun. The crossbow or the handgun. Like, I had to carve all of that out to kind of make it like a socket. And then also blue stuff, or not blue stuff, but milliput over it. But no, it's a lot of work to get custom poses in. But, you know, it'll be good when it's done. What's for dinner? I have no clue. I'm just very hungry. I feel like throwing up. I may order myself a sub, to be honest. I'm not in the mood to make food. I may just get, like, Mr. Sub or Subway or something. Sometimes on Uber, they've got deals where you buy one sub, but you get one free. So it's like you get 2 subs for $10, and that's, like, that's a really good deal. We'll see. But I'm going to go for now. When I come back, probably later tonight, I just got to clean everything up. There's a lot of, like, again, white. There's white debris everywhere. from pushing around milliput. So I need to just go in and wipe it all away and sand things down. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm going to go chill for a bit. I'm going to go eat, and then I'll be on probably later tonight when I feel a bit better, maybe. Who knows? But yeah. Take care, everyone. Be well. And I will catch you later tonight. Probably not on the main channel again. I'll most likely just be streaming here for the sake of, like, chilling. And then maybe tomorrow if I have time, and if I feel well, then we'll do a main channel stream. Yeah, Datyama, peace, buddy. Take it easy, man. During the day, I have to start working on my Corsair conversions. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but, you know, you kind of have to work at it eventually, and so it'll